program. Professional football began as a runner's game, but it prospered and grew with the discovery of flight. Only one man commands the flight of a football. He is the quarterback. This is a story about the greatest quarterbacks who have ever played in the National Football League. Men who earned fame and glory, each in his own way.
This is red, right, flip. 61, double shoot.
All right, 75 double choice. Flanker, Argo out, NK go on 2.
At open 4 right, 29 Geo, slot drag. On the deuce.
Just red left, pattern 57, wing delay, fullback corner on 1.
Red right, power 49 near Geo. It's on 2. It's on 2. Ready?
No
break.
position in football requires as many different skills as quarterback. It requires a cool head
55!
and a tough butt.
Here he comes! Come on, D!
Well, I know it. You know, I didn't... I got a throw back there after a while.
Okay, let's do something with it!
In the history of the National Football League, many have played the position, but only a few can be called the best ever. The World Championship of Professional Football. The dream of every quarterback who has ever stood over center. During the 1960s, Bart Starr, the Green Bay Packers, developed into a great quarterback who led a great team to 5 NFL titles. The same was true of Bob Greasy, number 12, who directed the Miami Dolphins to consecutive Super Bowl victories in the early 70s. If the true measure of a quarterback is how many times he leads his team to the championship, then certainly one of the best ever is Otto Graham of the Cleveland Browns.
The quarterback is the catalyst, and Otto Graham played the role of a quarterback, which is the most important position insofar as having a team win for many years, and that's one of the reasons I say that Otto Graham was the greatest player I ever had.
Though he never called his own plays, Graham's ability to execute Paul Brown's system made him a winner. In every season from 1946 to 1955, Otto Graham quarterbacked the Browns to a league or conference championship. For Yale Burton Abraham Tittle, it was his will to win that made him special. Y.A. was a tough, persistent operator for the San Francisco 49ers in the early 1950s. As a passer, Tittle was nearly an artist, yet ironically, number 14 is remembered best for a gimmick pass called the alley-oop.
I never thought as a quarterback I'd ever resort to throwing an end-over-end lob-lolly pass straight up in the air and hope that somebody would come down and grab it for a touchdown, but that's what the alley-oop pass was. We had a receiver on our team named R.C. Owens that was a basketball player by trade. R.C. used to say, throw it as high as you can, straight up in the air, and please put a wobble on it because he could judge it better.
In 1957, Tittle used the alley-oop to become the NFL's most valuable player.
10 seconds left. The Lions lead it, 31-28. All right, again, Owens flank to the right. This has got to be the alley-oop. There's no time for anything else. Tittle throws. Owens is double teamed. He's going downfield near the goal line. He goes up. He's got it!
In 1961, and at the age of 34, Tittle was traded to the New York Giants, where his career took a dramatic turn upward. Twice, Y.A. led the league in passing, and his 36 touchdown passes in 1963 set the NFL single-season record. Records and awards he had in abundance. But what Tittle wanted most was an NFL championship. For 15 years, he committed his body and soul to this desperate chase, an Ahab mightily pursuing his great white whale. In 1963, Tittle stepped out of a hospital bed to play the Chicago Bears in the NFL championship. Sadly, however, courage was not enough. Though his will to win earned him a place in the Hall of Fame, in 1964, Y.A. Tittle was forced to retire without the one crown he treasured most. Lenny Dawson of the Kansas City Chiefs was a quiet, unassuming quarterback. But like all great quarterbacks, there burned an intense desire to win. This lifted Dawson from a journeyman NFL quarterback to one of the cornerstone stars of the American Football League. Though not the biggest, Dawson was tough. His confident sense of command earned him the nickname Lenny the Cool, while his ability to pinpoint beautiful spirals made him the NFL's third leading passer of all time. However, in 1969, a knee injury forced Lenny out of action for 7 games. He did return to lead the Chiefs into Super Bowl IV, but only a few believed that number 16 could defeat the mighty Minnesota Vikings.
Come on, Lenny. Pump it in there, baby. Just keep matriculating the ball down the field, boys.
Dawson did not decimate the Vikings. He just beat them with workmanlike precision.
Keep negotiating that ball right down the field, boys.
For 19 years, Lenny Dawson was an outstanding field giant.
That's it, man. That's it, boys.
But when he led his team to the World Championship, Lenny earned a place among the best ever.
There's
A quarterback sets the tempo for his teammates. Like an orchestra conductor, his guidance must strike rhythms both subtle and stormy. Few mastered this as deftly as Bobby Lane. Though his arm was suspect, he inspired less by passing than by passion. A passion for winning.
I'm one person who hates to lose. I don't care if we're playing marbles or gin rummy or what we're doing. I like to be a winner. I did have a bad arm, there's no question about it, but it doesn't really count how pretty the pass is. But one time I was at the Pro Bowl game, and I was there with 4 quarterbacks, Van Brocklin, Tittle, Eddie LeBaron, and myself. I could throw it just as far as any of the rest of them, and when I wanted to, it could be just as pretty. But you throw a touchdown pass, I don't care if it wobbles or goes end over end, it counts 6.
Lane directed the Detroit Lions to NFL championships in 1952 and 1953.
You feel great walking down the street when you're a champion. You don't have to stand in line for picture shows. You get a free pass and you get in first. It's a great feeling.
By instilling that feeling in others, Lane attained greatness. Norm Van Brocklin's strong desire to win was matched by an arm that made him the NFL's leading passer 3 times. In 1951, he led the Los Angeles Rams to an NFL championship as those who played with the Dutchman rose to match his tenacity with their own. In 1960, he ignited the Philadelphia Eagles to a championship showdown with Green Bay. It was the last game he ever played, but his magnificent obsession to be #1 had not diminished. And Norm Van Brocklin became the only quarterback in history to lead 2 different teams to NFL championships. Roger Staubach's leadership skills were nurtured at the U.S. Naval Academy. Staubach's daring scuttled many a foe and earned him a Heisman Trophy. When he joined the Dallas Cowboys in 1969, he reverted to old instincts. Tom Landry knew Staubach had much to learn.
His running ability when he first came in the league was really a cover-up from lack of experience. There's no way a quarterback, until he learns to read defenses, until he learns to move a defense around and do the things he wants to do from the pocket, until he learns that, then he's going to rely on what his best quality is. And Roger's greatest quality when he first started was running.
As best qualities go, it was very good indeed. Staubach was a bold and agile runner who became known as Roger the Dodger. Staubach's running ability was but one manifestation of the competitive fire that burned beneath his cool surface.
I'm aggressive to a degree. As a quarterback, you got to keep your poise. You can't get overly emotional because you've got a lot on your mind. You've got to do a lot of things mentally to control the game, but you've got to be competitive, aggressive, and give everything you have physically.
Roger the Dodger gave way to a strong-armed passer who would become the top-ranked quarterback in NFL history. There was nothing mystical about Staubach's transformation, but there was magic in the way his teammates performed for him. Staubach became a worthy inheritor to the legacy established by Lane and Van Brocklin. During his 10-year career, he led the Cowboys to 10 consecutive winning seasons and 2 world championships. Staubach's incredible courage was also inspirational. Few have endured such brutal punishment in the athletic arena. Cowboy fans pronounced many a last rite for their fallen hero, but resiliency made him a winner.
You know, a guy that they call a winner isn't someone that's going to win all the time. But man, when he's down, he's going to bounce back up with everything he has when he gets the chance. And boy, you bounce back when things aren't going your way.
The irrepressible Staubach generated 23 come-from-behind victories, 14 of them in the final 2 minutes or in overtime. In a 1975 playoff game at Minnesota, the Cowboys were reduced to a wing and a prayer.
Well, the Cowboys need a miracle, as we said. 2nd and 10. Cowboys from the 50. Again, Staubach has him in the shotgun formation. Roger takes the snap, pumps it once. He's going long. Down the near sideline for Drew Pearson. Pearson makes the catch at the 5. Touchdown! Would you believe it?
They had great faith in him. They never thought they were out of it as long as Roger was throwing the ball. From that standpoint, he was something special.
A message. I want to present to you John Constantine Unitas.
On July the 28th, 1979, the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, inducted the greatest quarterback who has ever played the game. From his bristle brush haircut to his high-top shoes, no one ever looked quite like Johnny Unitas. But then, nobody else ever played like Unitas either. He was the most daring, deadliest passer who ever played pro football, and the subject of one of the most improbable Cinderella stories ever told. Drafted 9th by the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1955, Unitas was overlooked and spent most of summer camp playing catch with owner Art Rooney's kids before being cut from the squad. He spent a season playing semi-pro ball before signing with the Baltimore Colts in 1956 for $7,000. By mid-season, number 19 was a starter. In only his 2nd season, Unitas made the Pro Bowl. In 1958, Unitas led the Colts to the Western Conference title. Ahead lay the NFL championship, the New York Giants, and a step into pro football history. The largest television audience of its time, 50 million, tuned into sold-out Yankee Stadium. There, a 25-year-old quarterback demonstrated the poise, skill, and imagination that would make him the best ever. Tied at 17, Unitas put together one of the drives that would become his trademark during the first sudden death overtime in championship history.
Up over the ball come the Baltimore Colts. Unitas calling out the signals. Oh, 25. Unitas gives to Amici. The Colts are the world champions. The most dramatic finish in professional football.
This epic made a legend of the man with a golden arm. There were many pillars for the Unitas legend to stand on, but none more important than his right arm. For 18 years, his convincing pump fakes, froze secondaries, allowing him to place the ball on his receiver's fingertips.
The information, of course, that is more valuable than anything is the information that you receive from your own players or your own receivers.
Unitas used this information and his talented receivers to pass for over 42,000 yards and 290 touchdowns, standards by which all other quarterbacks would be measured. However, his records and achievements gave no indication of the games he won or influenced by the sheer force of his personality. Each game in which he appeared, something dramatic and exciting happened, despite the fact that he was the bullseye for every defensive unit he faced. His brand of courage gave him a power of leadership that words alone could not have done. It is his special mark that although many are compared to John Unitas, John Unitas is never compared to anyone else.
2 plays. First play, split right, 40 series right. Second play, be a split right, fullback draw. Both of them on run. Ready?
For 5 years, in 47 straight games, Unitas threw at least 1 touchdown pass. Pro football's equivalent of Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak. The Colts won the NFL championship 3 times under Unitas. And 3 times he was named the league's most valuable player. Other quarterbacks have won more championships or compiled larger statistics. But none ever fit all the requirements of pro football's most demanding position as well as Johnny Unitas, the best ever.
Promotional